Let's start in Sukhasana. So let's cross our legs at our mid-shins. And if you've got blankets, if you've got two blankets, you can come seated on the center of those two blankets with your legs crossed at your mid-shins. And then lean over one side to the other. Take the hand upper hamstring, lower buttock. Cross your legs at your mid-shins, and you want to bring the shin bones parallel with the top edge of your mat. You take your hands to your outer knees or your outer legs, really right above your kneecaps, and then draw in and let your feet move out to the side edges of your mat. Again, mid-shins. Bring your fingertips into your blankets, press and lift your side rib cage. Bring the tops of your shoulders down, spread your collarbone, spread your breastbone. The front rib cage here at the base of the front rib cage, draw down and back. And then press with the fingertips to lift the side rib cage. Hollow the armpits. And then as you exhale the breath, find your gaze out in front of you, tip of your nose or the mat or the floor. And then bring your hands together at your heart center. You want to bring your arms in, tips of your elbows down. Next exhalation, close your eyes. Center yourselves using your breath. Move your inhalation out into your outer rib cage. Empty your lungs completely with your exhalation. I'll chant Om. Join in, or you're welcome to just listen. Exhale your breath, bow your head, bring your chin to the groove of your neck. Keep your breastbone lifted towards your chin, tops of your shoulders down, away from your ears. Bring your hands to the very tops of your legs. Gently press the heel of your hands into the tops of your legs. Center your head. And as you take your next exhalation, you can slowly open your eyes and release your hands. Go ahead and let's come to the very front edge or top edge of our blankets here. And then once more, move the buttock flesh. So lean over, rotate lower buttock flesh out. Also draw back. And again, cross your legs at your mid-shins. Grab blocks if you need them, but we're going to bring the blocks out in front of us. Grip over your yoga blocks, but also push your hands into your blocks. And let's push our blocks forward out in front of us. Hold your weight here, guys, in your upper legs and your outer feet. Keep moving your side rib cage out towards the top edge of your yoga mat. Walk your hands out, your arms out. Bring your fingertips over the edge of your blocks. Press down, turn the inner eyes of your elbows up. Draw your upper legs down. Move your front rib cage up and out towards your chest. And then grip over your blocks and bring them back towards you. Perfect. And then let's uncross and recross. So I'm going to notice which leg I had in closest to me. And then I'll extend the legs out in front. And then I'll cross opposite. So this time I'll bring the left leg in first. And then once you get your legs at mid-shins, rotate the buttock flesh. Use blocks if you need to. But always think about making space between your hip point and your femur bone. So this space at your hip flexors really opens up even as you come forward. Think about not letting this space become hollow. So just watch for a moment. If I'm to come forward, the abdominals and the hip flexors become hollow like this. I want to lift up and spread, move the femur bones down and the hip points up, and then come forward over the upper leg bones. Now, as you're pushing the blocks, guys, it's not this. You really draw down and use the weight of your hands into your blocks and really lengthen out through the backs of your upper arms as you come forward. Make sure to keep your ears in line with your upper arms. So don't let your head drop down below your upper arms, but rather keep your ears in line with your upper arms. Notice this. Now, again, see if you can create space between your femur bones and your hip points. So can you lift up out of your hip points and stretch over your leg bones? You see, so take any hollowing out of the front of the hips, take hollowing out of the abdominal and the chest by what? Using your hands, push down into your blocks. So if you're going to push the blocks into the floor and then lift your navel up and move it out away from your pubic bone, and then grip your blocks and bring them back towards you. Perfect. And then stretch your legs out in front. Sit right in the center of your blankets. And again, once more, rotate the buttock flesh. Use a strap for Paschimottanasana, or take the arms out and up. If you're using a strap, hold the strap, take the arms up. And exhale your breath, fold forward, grab your outer feet or the heels of your feet, or use your strap. Now, before you come forward here, guys, bring your heel bones, your center heel bones straight down. Spread the backs of your knees, bring your leg bones down, your shin bones and your femur bones. Engage your feet, so press out through the base of your big toe joint and exhale, fold. Fold in half here, guys. Take any hollowing out of the chest and out of the abdominals by bringing your spine in and up, in and up. And as you do this, the tops of your legs goes down. Wind your elbows here. Really reach out through the very tips of both of your elbows out to the sides. And not only move the elbows out, not only extend and reach out through the tips of your elbows, but use that to spread your front rib cage and your back rib cage. And then inhale, stretch up. And exhale to release. Perfect. Perfect. And go ahead and move the buttock flesh one more time here. Rotate lower buttock flesh out and back. Look at your feet. See that your feet are even. Let's see if we can use a block here. So this time I'm going to come to the front edge of my blankets. And if you don't have blankets, if you're just seated on your mat, that's fine too. I'm going to do a dorsiflex of my feet this time and really open up my calf muscles. So my calves are really stretching out towards my heels, and I'm pushing the heels of the feet out in front of me. Watch. I'll take the block out, take the block up, lengthen through the side ribs, come forward, bring the heels down, bring the shin bones down, bring the femur bones down, bring the hands down towards your mat here. Push your heels into your blocks, keep your elbows straight and fold. Keep your elbows straight. So take any hollowing out of the front of the belly and the chest by moving up and out towards the top of the feet. So do a dorsiflex of your feet. Stretch all 10 toes back towards your kneecaps. Notice as it engages your kneecaps. Bring your leg bones down. Take your block in the heel of your hands. Extend your arms out. Take your arms up. As you exhale the breath, kneecaps straight, heel bones down. Come forward. Really push out into your fingertips. Bring the block to the feet. Once you get your blocks at your feet, guys, walk your hands down so that the pinky sides of your hands are touching the floor. Good. Now push your heels into the block, but pull the block into your heels. If you're using a strap, really engage the strap against the block. Also, I didn't say, but bend the knees. So Megan, bend your knees a little bit. That's it. And reach up and over. There you go. Perfect. And once you get the block there, keep the knees bent if you need to. Good. And then use the feet. Great, great, great. And you guys inhale, look up, and exhale to release. Very good. Very good. Go ahead and come off of your blocks and your blankets. Just move your props to the side. Let's go ahead and make a blanket roll out of one of our blankets. And we're going to lie on the blanket roll. So here the roll can be as thick as is good for you. You see, so you don't have to use the entire blanket. You can use half if that's, if your flexibility only allows for that. So you're really tight in your upper back, especially, make your roll smaller. But once you get your blanket in a roll, bring it behind you. And we're going to start by trying to bring the blanket to the very bottom edge of our shoulder blades. And this space here really rolls down and spreads out against the mat. So watch for a moment. Sit in front of your blanket, bend your knees, use your hands, keep watching for a moment. You'll grip the mat, lift and tuck. So you bring your sacrum and your tailbone down, and then you draw back to give length to the sacrum and the tailbone. Bend the elbows, come down so where the blanket is down below the shoulder blades. In order to get the backs of my arms down, I have to lift my bottom up and roll over the blanket a little bit deeper, and then I'll spread the shoulder blades out. Notice how low the blanket is. Again, I want it around the bottom of my shoulder blades, and then I'll really tuck the sacrum and the tailbone down, not lifting up here. So when you come down, you don't want to do this. You want to really work to spread out the backs of your arms, shoulder blades, and keep grounded here as your bottom comes down. Okay. And again, try to start with the blanket right underneath the bottom edge of your shoulder blade. Keep your knees bent. Take the palms of your hands up towards the ceiling. Really spread your arms out. And again, see that the very tops of your shoulders roll back and down onto your mat. Your shoulder blades are actually moving down towards your bottom. Your bottom is lengthening out towards your heels. Your knees are bent. Check where you've got your blanket. Is it at the bottom edge of your shoulder blades? Go ahead and let your knees move side to side very gently. Don't let your knees go all the way over, but you're just doing a gentle rocking of your knees as you keep the backs of your arms against your yoga mat. So don't lift your arms, backs of your arms and your shoulders up as you're twisting or moving your knees. Keep yourself very grounded here, and your anchor is actually the backs of your upper arms and your shoulder blades. That's your anchor. So if your anchor is lifting off of your base, then you're not achieving a nice lengthening and stretching of the spine. Bring your knees to the center. And go ahead, guys, and lift your bottom up and roll over your blanket a little bit deeper. You can also use your hands. You can lift your bottom and push the blanket down, and then again, come seated or come grounded with your bottom. So your blanket is now lower. It's lower than your back, than your shoulder blade. And then once you get it, take the arms out once more. You can let the knees move side to side. They can go a little bit deeper this time. But again, don't let the backs of your arms come up. And if they are coming up, that means you're letting your knees go over too far. So your knees will only go over far as long as you can keep that opposite arm grounded. So when my knees go to the right, I need to really work to keep the back of the left arm and left shoulder blade grounded against the mat. Bring your knees back to the center here. Here in this spot, guys, I'm going to straighten my knees one knee at a time, and I really want to get the length in the lower back. So I want to reach into my feet, reach into your feet, stretch your arms out. So your feet are active, your legs are active, your knees and your feet are together, and you're making the front of your legs as long as you can. You can even point your toes and then floint by pressing out through the base of the big toe joint. And then we'll exhale the breath and bend the knees one at a time, bring the feet up. You can lift your bottom, take your hands to your blanket, lift your bottom, bring your bottom down, your blanket down a little bit lower. So now it is at the lower part of the back, at the lumbar spot. And then again, keeping the backs of your arms grounded, tuck your bottom back down towards your mat or to your mat. If you are comfortable with letting your knees move, do that. They can go side to side. And since my blanket is lower, I let my knees go over a little bit lower. Actually, I let them come all the way over to one side. And then really twist opposite of the knees. See that you can get the breastbone back to the ceiling. And then whenever you're ready, you switch. So I let one knee go over at a time, really focusing on staying grounded at the back body. And again, this is at your own pace. So whenever you bring your knees back, again, if you're comfortable, the knees can drop all the way over to the side and then work to bring the breastbone back even to the ceiling. And then bring your knees back to the center. Go ahead and take your hands to your blanket. Walk your feet in, lift your bottom up, and push your blanket down. So now it's at your sacrum. It's at your sacrum. You can even roll the blanket, but use the blanket to really draw the flesh down. So the flesh on the back of your body, guys, is moving, always moving towards your feet. And that's from the back of your head. So from the back of your head all the way down to the heels of the feet, that flesh moves down. So gently draw the abdominal wall down. Maybe use your blanket roll as like a foam roller almost. So use it to help you lengthen the skin. Move the muscle and the bone down. So you're lengthening the posterior pelvis. You're really tucking or stretching down. And then still my hands are here. I'm going to push the blanket down even lower. And again, kind of using that blanket to draw my buttock flesh towards my heel. Really try to feel lots of length in your low back. So now that your blanket is down around the lower buttock, you check for a moment. See that you've got the spine is long and it's against the mat. The chest is open, backs of your arms grounded, shoulder blades grounded. One leg at a time, straighten. Straighten the knees. Let the backs of your upper legs rest on that blanket. Again, still really have this sensation is that the skin beginning at the back of your head is moving down into the heels of your feet. Sometimes even gripping your yoga mat with your hands, the outer edge of your mat, kind of pulling or drawing the mat towards your feet, letting the mat draw the clothing, the skin, the bone down. And then bend the knees. Let's bend the knees one at a time. Put your feet on the yoga mat. Again, keep your length. You can even, if you need to, lift your knees and really tuck your sacrum. But I want you to draw your abdominal wall down, guys, where the knees are still bent, the feet are on the mat, and you're really trying to get length against the mat with the lower back. So no space between your lower back, your spine, and your yoga mat. Now, again, you can even grip your mat and kind of pull the mat or draw the mat down and bring your knees in. Bend one knee at a time. Again, keep your sacrum against your mat. Don't lift your bottom up with this. So again, we're trying to find the length in the low back. If you'd like to, interlace your fingers around your shins. Press your shin bones into your interlaced fingers. Draw your shin bones in as well. So you bring your shin bones towards your hands, but you also draw your hands into your shin bones. And then let's take ourselves over to the right. So roll over to the right. Use the hands. Bring yourselves up. Perfect. And since my back's always hurting, we got to do a whole bunch of back stuff. So let's take Adho Mukha Virasana for a moment, or child's pose. Use a blanket between the bottom and the heels if you need to. But come into this slowly. So when we sit, bring your big toes together and then lift your bottom and tuck your outer heels in so that you sit. Your heels are directly over your sitting bones. And then bring your leg bones down and come inside. Bring your rib cage, your side ribs inside of your inner knees. Keep your elbows and your wrists lifted and bring your forehead down. Once you get that length, concave the thoracic spine, and then bend the elbows and let the elbows rest. Put a little bit of weight in your forehead, kind of tuck your chin towards the groove of your neck. And now, again, you're letting your elbows rest, but you're drawing your bottom and your sacrum. Your sacrum's really long and it's moving towards the mat. Even your tailbone is moving towards the mat. Let's look towards the hands. Bring the elbows up. Bring the wrist bones up. And again, sometimes we can, if you can hyperextend, you can almost drop the front of your, or the wrist bones down into the mat. But guys, I want you to lift up. So really energetically lift the inner wrist bones up, straighten the elbows, come onto your knees. Bring your hands right underneath your shoulders. We'll come into dog pose. So separate your knees, take your knees up and go very slowly. You can keep your knees bent until you get the length in the spine, and then straighten the knees. And again, guys, really what I want us to work on is length in the lower back. So draw your sacrum towards your mat. Draw your sacrum towards your mat. Once you've decided that you're going to straighten your knees fully and move your femur bones, your upper leg bones back. Move your outer feet back and really try to get your heel bones down. So how do you do that? Start right below your knee pit and extend down. Lift your chest, move your chest up towards your chin. Don't arch your back. Take any arching out of your low back. Really, again, the way you do this is you draw your sacrum and you draw your tailbone straight down towards the yoga mat. Keep the length in the spine. And then exhale, come down and rest. And you can rest any way you want. Maybe this time you want to just let your backs of your hands come outside of your legs like this. Tuck your chin, bring your forehead down. And if you are resting like this, really let your upper arms become extremely heavy. Go ahead and come up, guys. And what we're going to do from here is, and I'm going to turn the other way, but we're going to come into that, the kind of the supine cross leg twist. So what I'll do, and I'll turn this way so that you guys can see. So from here, just watch for a moment. I'm going to come up and I just come onto the knees. Now this time the left leg is behind me, left toe stay down. I'm going to cross the right leg under, let the right leg slide out, stay on the outer right foot, draw the outer right hip down, turn the chest towards the yoga mat, even maybe coming onto the forearms. Draw forward to open up the outer right hip and twist to the right. So the way I came into that is almost like a dog pose. So from child's pose, here, you come here, and you just bring your knees up and go ahead and cross the right leg over. So the right leg kind of crosses over to the left. Take the left leg back, left toe, stay grounded. Lift or draw your right hip down, come down, seated on your outer right hip, and then twist to the right. Sometimes we can come all the way out here like this and use your left side, roll your outer left heel out. So however you want to do that, but come to your knees, lift your knees up, take your right leg is straight, take it across the body to the left. Make sure you're on your outer right foot. Now draw your outer right foot down into the floor, lift your right hip up, pull your right hip down. Now draw your right hip back to the right and twist to the right. You know, I really find using that left heel, not forgetting that your left foot has to work. So push into your left heel and see if you can take your left heel and just kind of rotate it to the left and see if that doesn't articulate at your hips. Yeah. Draw the outer right hip down. You can come all the way grounded onto the hip. Pull the torso forward away from the hip, kind of separating your outer hip and your side rib cage, right side. So there's a separation where you lengthen the side ribs out. Now, if you can come all the way down to the mat, keep your right elbow bent, stretch your left arm out over your head. See if you can really feel the entire left side. Left hand can come to the mat, but see if you can get length there. That's it. Now roll to the left, roll to the outer left side. Great. And then exhale, release. Perfect. Now, if you're here, you release. Let's come back. Almost like we're going to do a dog pose. Lift your knees up, cross your left leg over to the right. And then I've got to get this leg back, right leg back. I'm on the right toes. I'm going to really draw that hip down. See if I can come grounded on the outer hip. Pull forward, twist the chest towards the mat. If you can stretch the right arm out over the head. But use your back heel, and if you can get the right arm out over the ear, the right hand comes, it stays on the mat or on the floor, but really it gives you a nice deep lengthening of that entire right side, so from your fingers to your foot, right? And then roll the outer right side of your body down towards the yoga mat. Great, 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 great. Stay here for a moment. You can always adjust this by kind of lifting and drawing the hip down or pulling the torso away from the hip. But see what happens when you use the back foot. So when you use the back heel, that's it. Draw back and then take the arm opposite of the back heel. Great, 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 great. Perfect. And then you guys can exhale and release. Very, very good. Go ahead and let's stay seated on our mat. And I'm going to take my blanket. And one, I would say, is good. One blanket. And let's see if we can trick ourselves. So what I'm going to do is sit in front of this blanket in Sukhasana. So really I want to cross at the mid shins. The blanket's right in front of the shin bones. So see if maybe you can line the shin bones up at the edge of that blanket like this. And then I'm going to bring the right leg over, come forward, bring the outer right knee, the outer right hip. So the outer right knee and the outer right foot. Want to hold the foot and draw this outer right knee. Watch how. So you'll draw the hip back. Hold the foot down though. So the entire back of my leg, sitting bones are going up. Even though my sacrum and my tailbone are down. Now watch. That's the right leg that's on the blanket, right? And then I'll take my left leg in pinwheel. So that left leg bends at a 90-degree angle. And again, it's behind me. So left knee is out to the left. I'm really pressing into the outer left foot. And then I want to, again, adjust that right hip, draw the right hip back. I want to lean over to the left. I'm going to come forward. Y'all keep watching for a moment as I come forward. My left side wants to roll away from my right foot, but I really want to rotate my left side towards my right foot. Take the left leg back. Now keep watching. So I'm lifting the knee up, pressing the heel, and I'm going to roll over to the left. And when I do that, that outer right hip adjusts itself. You can bring your forearms over your shin, over your blanket. Your work is to kind of really stretch back through that back leg. Come down. So work with your left leg, and you guys shouldn't be there already, but rather kind of in that pinwheel position here. You see, so start so that you know that you've got a nice alignment on your right leg. So make sure your outer foot, your outer ankle bone is there. Your back leg is in a pinwheel. So Lisa, bend your back knee up a little bit more. Same with you, Megan. Can your back knee bend up a little? There you go. And everyone lean to the left side. It's not comfortable, but lean to the left side. Yeah. Now, can you take your hand, your left hand, in an L shape and then roll down towards the mat? Go down. So the bottom kind of comes up and then lean to the left. Now come forward and keep that left side moving towards the right foot. Come all the way down. Come down, guys. And then begin to straighten the back leg. So wiggle the back leg behind you. Go very slow. Turn the back knee down. Back knee faces the mat. That's it. Back knee faces the mat. You could stay on the back toes if you need to. That's it. Now remember, when you're adjusting that left side, remember that you have to let the right side move with the left side. So move the left side, but don't hold the right side back. That's great, guys. This is the best pigeons I've seen. So everyone come onto your left toes. Bring your left toes to your mat. Left toes. Don't lift your torso. Just bring your left toes up to the mat. Now, can everyone take their left leg a little further to the left? That's it. Now, lift, press into your left heel and roll your outer heel to the left. That's it. Now, let the right side go wherever that left side is going. Take an exhale one more time. Roll the outer left side down towards the mat and towards the right foot. Perfect. Go ahead and stay as you are, but bring your torso up. And we're going to take a spinal twist to the right. So you're here in your pigeon. And really now I need to lift the bottom up and roll all the way over to the right. Take the right arm behind. Lean to the right. Now really affecting or drawing from here to here. Back. Twist. Shoulders down. And then exhale, release. Come back seated again in not fire log, but come seated in Sukhasana again, right in front of your blanket. And then you have to scoot in and you'll bring that left foot up and then take your time. Make sure that outer foot, outer ankle bone, outer knees there. It kind of almost naturally, the leg bone. Now they say that the natural position of our leg bone is forward, right? And you hear an asana, bring the upper leg bone back, bring the upper leg bone down, it's naturally forward. So watch, I want to lean over and tuck it in so it goes back. So this entire outer knee, outer leg, outer hip goes back, and that's the leg bone moving in to the hip socket. And then remember, your right leg goes out. And this is so hard for me because my back's been hurting, but I really think it's more my hips. Like I think it's like anyway, I don't know. I'm myself diagnosing. And that's how I kind of get myself in trouble, because I do just ridiculous things. And then I before I know it, like frolicking in open fields just to have fun. And then I hurt my back. So I never really have a good reason. It's not like I did like a really super advanced yoga move and then I accidentally flipped out of, such and such and hurt my back or anything like that. It's more like I rolled over one too many times in bed and then my back was injured. Okay, so anyway, lift the inner right knee up and take it out. And then L shape with your right hand, remember, and then let the buttock flesh roll up and over like this. So roll down. And that also kind of draws that right side of the pelvis to the right. And then as you come forward, I want to roll that right side. So turn your back right rib cage down towards your left foot. You can hook over the shin bone or you can grab the yoga mat, but begin to wiggle. And this is my sore side, so go slow. Take the right leg behind you. Now, I've got to lift up and I'm going to roll that outer right side to the right. But I've got to let the left side move with that. Do you see? So I have to make this more of a full action. So think of this. Outer left foot, watch where the outer left foot moves. It moves back towards the outer left knee. The outer left knee goes to the outer left hip. And then from the back of the waist, left side, all the way down, back of the right side of the pelvis. And once you get it, you can come onto those toes, push into that right heel, lift your right knee and push. And you can feel their length or increase in space in your inner thigh, your inner groin. Now, if you're gonna bring your back foot down, come to the top of your back foot, but roll to the outer foot. You could take your right leg a little bit further out to the right, your right leg, to see if that gives you a little more room. Let your left sitting bone come up. Now roll over to the right. Let the sit, good, great. Keep the front body resting over the leg for a moment. Draw the outer right leg or the outer left leg down. And remember, we want to move up and out of that hip point. And then go ahead, you can bring yourselves up onto your hands, lift your torso up. I'm gonna lean over to the right, take the left arm behind, twist. And then as you exhale the breath, slowly release. Very good, guys. Oh, very good. Just stretch your legs out in front of you. And I'm going to take a moment in Baddha Konasana. So you could sit on that blanket if you want, but I'm going to bring the soles of the feet together. I want to open the soles of the feet like a book. I'm going to pull the heels in close. And then as I exhale the breath, come forward. Now open your chest. Move your breastbone up and away from your pubic bone. Extend your inner knees out. Inner knees out. Come forward. Ah. And then inhale, come up. Great, great, great. Very good, guys. And then go ahead, let's bring our inner knees together and then stretch your legs out. Use this blanket if you want to. I'm going to use it. The only way you can use it is to sit just on the left sitting bone like this. So the blanket folded just like I had it for pigeon pose. And I'm going to sit on the blanket with just the left sitting bone. And then I'll lean over to the left, let the right sit bone come up, and I'm going to bend the right knee behind me like this. And then this right sitting bone is free of any prop, but I want to roll in and bring that right sitting bone down and lift up through your chest. I'm going to take my right arm out and I'm going to grab my left foot. I want to come down to the heel. Keep watching. I want to really press that left heel bone in, because remember we talked about the femur bone needing to go this way. And then watch, you still need to come up and over the hip and grab the foot. And you can use a strap. If you use a strap, maybe loop it and hold the strap with the right hand. But here, left hand's down, it's out on your mat. You're using it so that you can push your weight to the right. Exhale your breath, push into your foot with your right hand, fold. See if you can move your nose down to your left knee. Left knee. Press down with your right shin bone. Press down with the top of your right foot. This is Triangle Mukha Ekapada. Again, come up and over. Go up and over your leg bone. Good, good, good. Now see, guys, can you bring your front rib cage right over both of your leg bones? So in other words, don't lean over to your left or to your right, but center. And then bring your nose down to your left knee. Use your fingertips. And then inhale up, exhale, release, stay here. We're going to bend the left knee. Now, maybe you stay here. Maybe this is it. And when you bend that left knee, see if you can bring that left knee in. Bring it in. You can even hug around the shin bone, draw the shin bone in. Now, come to your left heel. Lift your left toes. Interlace your fingers, your hands around your left foot. This is Crouchasana. And then you're going to lean back, not too far. Keep the thigh and the chest together. And then you're going to bring the back of the left leg so the calf is parallel. Watch. Press in. Flex the toes. Keep the leg where it is. Straighten the left knee. But as you straighten the knee, what you don't want to do is this. Do you see? So you want to pull that leg in, open your chest, hug the leg, straighten the knee. So how do you straighten the knee? Extend your left calf towards your left heel, okay? Extend your left calf towards your left heel. Okay, you guys try it. Make sure that your right knee is bent behind you if you can do that. Lean back, grab or interlace around the foot. Lift the toes up. Let your left toes come up and interlace, hook the foot. That's it. Now lean back as you've interlaced your foot. Lean back and bring your left foot up and bring your left shin bone or your left calf parallel. Parallel. That's it. Flex your foot, flex your toes, Megan. That's it. Flex your toes. Good. You guys draw your toes back towards your kneecap. Flex your toes, Lisa. And then exhale, straighten your right knee. Good. Straighten your right knee as much as you can, maybe not at all. Great, great, great. No? Okay, and release. Can y'all hear me? Oh. Okay. I thought y'all were going to be like, no, I don't hear a word you're saying. Okay, switch sides. Triangle Mukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana to Crouchasana. So I'm going to turn to the side. So I've got my little blanket here. This time my left knee is going to be bent. So when I sit on the blanket, it's just underneath the right sitting bone, and I'll lean over and bend the left knee back. So it's here, you don't want to do this, but bring your back body in and up. Even use your hands if you need to. Bring your hands to your sacrum, press your sacrum in and up, and then lift. That's it. And I just happen to be to the wall. You don't have to use the wall. And then let's lean over again and let that outer right hip come down inside of the heel. Go ahead and you'll come forward. Now we'll take the right fingertips outside of the right leg, reach down and grab left hand, right foot. Draw this entire outer hip back. Go back, 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 back. Outer hip, bend the left elbow, fold. So when you're folding, fold right over both of your upper leg bones. Sitting bones, this is a hard concept, but your sits bones Move up and over towards your low back, but your sacrum and your tailbone come down towards your mat. Good, good, good. And then inhale to look up. Great. Exhale, bend that right knee. Now, maybe again, maybe this is it and this is fine. And imagine if you were going to use foot and shin, you'd come forward. So come forward, press into that left shin bone, engage your right foot. Now you don't want to try the knee to be out. So try to bring that right knee center and the right kneecap up towards the ceiling. Lean back. You go here. Then you pull the leg in. It shouldn't move away from your chest as you straighten the knee. So your elbows can widen out, press through your foot. So press your foot into your hands, pull your hands down, turn your outer right hip away from you, and then bend the knee and release. Perfect. And then let's lean over and straighten the left leg. Oh, very, very good. And I'm going to turn my blanket to the side. I'm just going to turn it so that I can sit on the edge of my blanket for Janushirasana A. And then maybe we'll do C, or maybe we'll do B. We'll do B. So for Janushirasana A, I'm at the edge of the blanket. The feet come apart just a little bit. I'm going to bend the right knee and bring the top of my right foot on the mat, my right shin, right knee all the way out to the right. So not like this, but bring the right knee out. So right knee out to the right, cover back of the left thigh, covers the right toes, adjust the left buttock flesh, guys. So adjust the left side, lean over, rotate out and back, even out that left leg and left foot. So not here, but come center heel and activate the foot. Now we're going to use one hand like we did with Triangle Mukha. Bring your left fingertips outside of your left leg, bend your left elbow. Bring your right hand, extend your right arm, and grab your heel. You may use a strap. You can use a loop as well. Hold heel, tug heel in, twist your torso to the left, come down, nose to the left knee. Don't round the spine, keep the spine in. And you do want to move the very top of your head towards your left toes. So lean over, guys. Don't lean to the right. Be very even in your weight. Get your front rib cage to rest on your left thigh. Use your left fingertips to the mat. And then inhale, look up and out towards your left foot, and exhale, release. Very good. So if you're using a strap, and I said a moment ago, you could use this in a loop because it acts more like using one hand, you see. So if I have a loop, no matter how big I need it, I can do this, you see, and this. So I can really give a good pull because you've got to have a line. If it's not your hand and it's your strap, still give a ton of weight to that strap from your hand. Use your hand, use your arm, you see. So switch sides. And again, if you need a strap, just make it into a loop. And that loop can be as big as you want. You know what I mean? Like maybe it needs to be bigger. Maybe you have to have it this long in order for you to reach. And then your pose would be here. You see? So make your loop, or bend your left knee, right back of your right leg covers your left toes. Adjust your flesh. And then again, come forward. Now, right hand can stay outside on the mat. Left hand grabs the right heel, pull the heel bone back and in, and fold. Nose to the knee, guys. So the nose to the knee and the front chest, the chest right over the right leg bone. So don't lean and put more weight in one hip, but keep your weight very even. Good, good, good. It is a slight twist. So take a slight twist towards that straight knee. See if you can bend the elbows, push down into the mat with the fingertips that are against the mat. Perfect. And then inhale up Great, great, great. And exhale, release. Extend both of your legs out in front of you for a moment. I'm going to separate the legs again. I'm going to do Parvrita Janu. So I'll bend the left leg like this. Take your right leg out. Now, this may be it. This could be as far as you can get. Watch me, guys. Come to the top of the left foot. Watch the inner growing. So the inner groin should not be rolling up towards the ceiling, but watch. Lift up. Roll the inner groin down. Keep watching me. I'm going to draw the left leg down, lean my torso to the right, reach out and grab the foot. Now, I don't want to lean back here, but I've got to come right over the top of the leg and extend my side right rib here towards my right foot. Turn the chest up. I'm going to bend the elbow. Going very, very slowly. I want to draw down through the top of this left leg. Turn my ear, so my right ear comes right down to that right knee. Maybe you can release and extend the arm out, but I want the ear on the knee. Draw the left thigh bone down. Reach over the head. Grab the right toes, left hand. Press into the foot. Press the toes into the hand. Lean to the left. Turn the chest up. Go very, very slow here, guys. Go very slow. So work to face. If your ear is not on your knee, that's okay. But really work so that that ear faces the right knee. It's lined up over the right knee. That means your torso has to come in some. Your torso has to come inside of your inner leg some. Now, if you've got your elbow grounded, so move your elbow inside of your knee, everyone, and bend your elbow and make weight in the tip of your right elbow until it comes down. Good. Now you can release your right toe, turn the palm of your right hand up, extend your right arm out in front of you. Just take it straight out, still lined up with your inner right knee. There you go, Lisa. That's it, Megan. Just extend that arm out towards your doggy. Is that your doggy? I can know the other way. You're like, where's my doggy? Yeah. Oh, your doggy's way back there. Okay, anyway. Yeah, bring your hand more to the left, your right arm. Yep, that's it. Now, can you let your ear rest on your knee? Good. Now, take your left arm out, guys, and take it around across to the right toes. That's it. Grab the toes. Now, press your right toes into your hand. Press. That's it. Press. Make that left elbow long. That's nice. Turn your chest completely up to the ceiling. Perfect. And then exhale. Release super duper slowly. Now, for that one, the only way to really come out of that, and I should have showed you this, is like this. You face the floor, release. And when you come up, you just kind of come rest in the center for a moment and then come up. That one can be really intense. And Mr. Iyengar had this thing about you enter into poses very slowly and you should exit them very slowly. He believed that where we get injured is when we're moving really quickly without awareness. We're kind of moving without being engaged, almost moving without planning every sequence of the move. Do you see? So that's the reason for coming into these and coming out of them very slow. It's maximum awareness of where and how you're entering. Do you see? Because if you enter into a pose wrong, and sometimes we enter in the best way that we can. But if we enter into them completely wrong and you're in the pose, it's impossible to therefore correct the pose. That's when it becomes injurious. I don't even know if that's a word, but you know what I mean. That's when you injure yourself, is when you're in a position and you're trying to wiggle around to fix it. So the best thing to do would be to just come completely out and go back in, okay? So let's go pretty slow. Left leg is out, left kneecap up, right knee all the way out to the right. Now, L-shape your hands and roll your inner groin down twist your torso to the right. You can start there, but lean to the left. Now, sometimes I just let that left hand slide down the leg, down the shin, grab the toe. Press down into your right upper leg bone. It really feels really, really good to get some space between that right femur bone and your right hip point. So as you're bending your left elbow, press down through the top of that right leg. Press down and almost reach to the right. Now, once you come down here, you can slowly begin to turn your chest forward and let your left ear come down without your right buttocks coming up. And it will really kind of press back into your right sitting bone. And then you can release your left foot, maybe turn your palm up, extend your left arm out, and sometimes I use the opposite hand to do that. And then when that right hand comes over, let the fingertips walk in front, grab the toes, press the toes into the hand, turn the chest up. And since this is revolved, the first one that we did, Janushirasana, with the nose to the knee, now you're doing revolve, so the back of your head goes to the knee. So turn the gaze up, turn the chest up, but guys, bring your right buttock flesh down, bring your right bottom down. Don't let your right bottom come up. Good, 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 good. Just 2 more seconds. And then exhale, release, and remember you release, and you come right to the center, and you can come on your forearms, elbows, and then exhale, release. Good, good, good. Very slowly, guys, bring yourselves up. And then let's extend our legs out in front of us. Grab your straps. And we don't need our blanket, so your blanket can just kind of go behind you like this. So I was seated on it, doing my other pose, and I'm just going to come forward, keep my knees bent and my feet on the mat, like this. And I want to rotate the lower buttock flesh. Going to bring the strap around the base of my toes. Grab, really pull into the strap, lean back, drag my heels back to the bottom, and then bring my legs so the backs of my lower legs are parallel. Don't want to round out, but I want to press in, shoulders down, and we'll hold the belt here for a moment, bringing the inner knees down. Our inner knee flesh rotates down. Okay, so remember, rotate the buttock flesh out, rotate the buttock flesh out first. And then once you do that, you can bring your strap there. If you want, you can do that ahead of time and then just kind of let the strap rest there. Grab the backs of your legs, like right behind your knees. It's the back of your legs here. And kind of press your hands in and lift up. Move your torso up. And then reach forward and grab the strap. Now, come to your toes. Drag your toes back. Pull your knees in. Bring your legs up so the backs of your lower legs are parallel. Hold your strap. Keep your knees bent, guys. Knees stay bent. And don't round. So pull your back body, your spine comes in, shoulders come down. Keep the knees bent and keep the backs of your legs parallel. So don't go here, but parallel. Pull the knees in. Great. Exhale the breath. Straighten the knees. Hold the strap. Don't round the back. Don't round the back, guys. Push your feet into your strap. Push your feet into your strap. Now bend your knees, bring them back so that your back lower legs are parallel, and then come down. See if you can control the feet as they come down, and then release the strap. Perfect. Perfect. There is a fun way to do that, but this time without the strap, I'm going to lean back onto my blanket. Drag my heels to my bottom. Do you see? All the way into the bottom, knees bent heavily. Take the backs of my legs parallel, not like this, guys, parallel. femur bones away. Open the chest, and we'll see if we can come from there to here. Okay, start slow. Put your feet down first, remember, and then bring your hands back, and then lean back. Your elbows are bent. Lean into your heel of your hands now. Drag your toes, lift your heels, drag your toes in. Go all the way into the bottom, heels to the bottom, and then bring it up parallel. That's great. Stay on the heel of your hands, shoulders back and down. Find your balance, release your hands, take your arms out. Keep your knees hugging in together and keep your spine moving up towards the ceiling. Great, great, great. And then exhale to release. Very good, guys. Megan, your dog's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? It looks so fun. Okay, I'm going to just lie over this blanket since I've got it here. So I'm going to come forward. And I want it at the lumbar spine. So I'm going to bring the elbows down, walk the feet in, and come back over the blanket. Then I want to really stretch the sacrum and tailbone down. Make any adjustments that you need here. We'll just be here for a moment. Keep your knees together, your knees bend, your feet on the mat. And you can let your arms just go out to the sides for a moment, palms up. You can even bring your inner knees together and take your feet out a little away from one another here. Oh, gosh. Go ahead and take the knees apart and then bring the feet together. Inner feet, grab your blanket. I didn't know I was going to do this, but why not? Lift up and pull your blanket down so that it's right underneath your sacrum. So like this, lift, it comes down underneath the sacrum or the bottom. Really lengthen out. So draw back against the blanket. Let the blanket draw the sacrum down. Bring the abdominal wall down. Let's go ahead and grip our yoga mat. Rotate the upper arms back and down to the mat. Bring your knees together. Point your toes. Bring your heels up. Drag your heels. Touch your buttocks with your heels. And then from there, bring the backs of your lower legs parallel, so they wouldn't be parallel if you've got them here, but parallel. Bring your heels down some, Lisa. Yeah, heels down, more, and back. Bring your feet back some. No, back away. Bring your knees away. Yeah, there you go. They could come in just a teeny bit. Good. Keep your legs here, guys. Maybe take your hands and press into your femur bones. Draw your femur bones back. Straighten both of your legs. Don't lift your bottom up. Straighten your legs. Let's pull our legs back, everyone, so our bottom is grounded onto the blanket. Ground the bottom. Stretch the legs up. You take your arms up and over your head. You could take the thumb sides of your hands down and reach. Pull your belly button down. Pull your belly button down. And then as you exhale your breath, see if you can keep your arms over your head. Draw your abdominal wall towards your mat. Let's take our legs and move them down to a 60-degree angle. And I want you to use your legs. Hold that 60-degree angle, guys. Hold that 60-degree angle. The kneecaps are straight. Bring it down to a 30-degree angle. 30 degrees, a little bit lower, Lisa. And you guys hold here. Press through your feet. Draw your belly down. Very, very slowly pull both of your legs back up. Go slowly to 90-degree angle. Go slowly. Bring your legs back down to a 60-degree angle. You've got to reach into your feet, make the front of your legs very long, maybe even point your toes. Bring your legs down to a 30-degree angle. Take your heels slightly apart. Hold in your abdominals. Draw your belly down. Heels are hovering. Come back up very slowly. Bend your knees and bring your feet down onto your mat. You can lift up here and lift your bottom up and pull your blanket out to the side. And then again, just come reclined. Let's go for our back bend. You could take Setubandha Sarvangasana by bringing your block, and you may have to get up unless you're like me and you can reach it with your feet. But grab your yoga block and bring it to whatever level you need and come into supported bridge pose. So you can bring it to lower level, medium level, or high level, but lift up really tuck, 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 tuck. And bring your block underneath your sacrum. So again, the block can be on the tallest version, or it can be medium or low. But you want to flatten your feet, so you don't want your feet to lift up. And really, if the block gets too high, what'll happen typically is it'll lift the backs of your arms up or your shoulders up. But you want this kind of descending of the top of your shoulders where they're rolling back and down onto the mat. Good. Use your feet, guys, even if your knees are bent. If your knees are bent, more than likely you're using your feet. If your knees are straight, you still have to use your feet to bring your thigh bones down. So remember your femur bones, remember I said earlier, they usually live up or way falling forward. But in our asana practice, we want to learn to connect the femur bone into the hip socket and then bring your thigh bones down. Bring them towards the floor. Perfect. Go ahead here, guys. If your knees were straight, bend your knees, put your feet on the mat. Keep your arms grounded, lift your bottom and bring your block out from underneath your sacrum. And your block can go over to the side. And then let's bring our knees into our chest and we'll just hug the knee one at a time. Again, we really get used to that length in the sacrum. So when you pull your knees in, be careful not to let your entire backside roll up, but rather roll down into the mat and you can move side to side here or front to back. And I'm going to take the arms out and I want to let my knees go to the left. Then I'll look to the right. Now your shoulder blades can become uneven here. So bend your elbows and bring the backs of your arms to the mat. Lift your left shoulder blade. Take it to the left. Look to the right. Now, for me, it helps me to hold the outer right knee with the left hand and then try to draw that inner right knee down. And then let's bring the knees up and go opposite. So knees now go to the right and just let them come grounded and then adjust the shoulder blades. And then once I adjust the shoulder blades, I notice I need to go back and adjust the left knee. So I'll draw down with the right hand. And then bring yourselves here back to the center. Grab a strap if you need to. We are going to come up for our inversion, but before we do that, I want to stay on your mat with your knees bent, feet against your mat. Bend your right knee into your chest. Use a strap if you can't use your hands. If you can use your hands, grab your outer right foot and your inner right foot and extend that right leg up. Now you've got your left knee bent, but I still want you to take your left hand to your right calf muscle, press in, draw your calf muscle towards your heel, and then pull your right leg in. Draw your right thigh bone away from you though. So right femur bone moves towards the back of your right leg. Your bottom is not lifted up. And then bring your leg back, bend the knee, and release. And grab your left foot. So in the chest, you can grab inner and outer foot. Hold that leg in. Press with your right foot. Straighten your left knee. And then you really want to bring that outer left hip away from you. But left thigh bone goes towards the back of your left leg, but pull your left leg in. Do this at the same time. Take your left hand to the back of your left leg, your calf muscle, extend it up. So think of ironing or the flesh of your calf or lengthening. Use your own hand to make the calf, the left calf muscle longer, moving it towards your foot. Don't lift your butt. I'd rather press your bottom opposite of your left foot. And then very slowly bend the knee and release. Good, guys. You can roll over, use your hands against the mat, roll over and come up. And any inversion that you want to take, maybe you want to go legs up the wall, which that's what I think I'll do. Or you could do headstand or handstand. Or if you're not inverting today, you can stand in Uttanasana or Parsarita Padottanasana. So for legs up the wall, or you can do, I think I said headstand, but for legs up the wall, if you want, you can use a blanket or two as well. Now this blanket can be at the wall or a little bit away from the wall. Or you don't have to have a blanket at all for legs up the wall. You can just bring your side hip to the wall, turn, take your legs up, and relax legs up the wall for a moment. You can also put the backs of your legs in a chair or on the sofa or elevate it anyway. If you're doing headstand, make sure to interlace your fingers where your fingertips face you. If you're in Shirsasana, make sure you're gripping the head with the hands, those interlaced fingers, fingertips facing you, thumbs relaxed, really giving a lot of support to the back of your head. Few more moments if you're in Shirsasana. See if you can really feel even weight from your wrists to your elbows. And if you're in legs up the wall, just relax for a moment. Remember, in legs up the wall, I mean, you can also do kind of different things with your legs. For example, you could do soles of your feet together, Baddha Konasana. And interestingly, if you have the room, and I just had a dream about this and wondered if it would work, but if you have the space, I let my right leg go out to the right and it's staying against the wall, heel like this. And I'll try to really get that left outer hip to the wall and then keep that left sitting bone to the wall as I let the left leg come over to the right. And then I want to bring the elbows down and twist so that the chest moves up towards the ceiling. I could take my hands and roll that outer left hip to the wall. And then as I come up, and this is if you're in this grade, and if you're not, don't worry. As I come up, I'll bring the left leg up first. Then I'll bring the right leg up. Then I'll let the left heel draw out to the left and come all the way down to the floor. Draw that outer right hip to the wall. And then let that right heel slide over to the left. My main goal, again, I need to get length at this posterior pelvis. I want to really draw towards the wall and twist. And then I'll look to the wall and bring the right leg up. Bend the left leg. And then you can bend your knees. If your leg's up the wall, bend the knees. Hug the knees to the chest. Roll over. Use both of your hands to the mat and come up. Perfect. Okay, stay at the wall with your feet. So feet to the wall. We'll do Supta Padangusthasana and then we'll prepare for Shavasana. So for Supta Pada, you can use a block like we normally do, or you're welcome to use a blanket or keep your blanket that you used a moment ago. And when you come down onto your mat, have your knees bent. Grip your mat, outer edges of your mat with your hands, really draw back. And then straighten your knees, keep your feet really pressing into the wall, push, straighten your knees deeper. And I think we did this Sunday and I said, well, it's gonna pull your pants down, and it just does, okay? So you can always adjust. But that's what it's supposed to do. Now, if you want, again, use a blanket or you bring a block to that outer right hip, but bend your right knee. And let's bring our strap around the right heel. Let's take it to the heel, not the base of the toes this time. And then extend the leg up. Draw down with your left hand, turn the sole of your right foot to the left. Reach up, grab your strap really close to your foot. Grab your strap with your right hand right up to your ankle almost, so reach up. Now, take your right leg out to the right, but I want you to bend your right elbow, and bring the back of your right arm down. Bend your right elbow, bring the back of your right elbow down. Take your left arm out to the left. Wiggle your left leg to the left a little bit and press your left foot into the wall. Now, if you can use your hand to your outer right foot, do so. Again, bend the right elbow. Bring the back of your left leg completely into the mat. Bring your right leg up. Switch the hand that holds the strap or the foot. Take your hand, left hand to your strap. Look to your right. Take your right arm out to the right. Go very slowly, guys, so your bottom should not be lifted. Take your right leg to the left, but really make your right buttock flesh longer. Draw down. So buttock flesh moving towards the right foot. You can bend the left elbow and pull down on the strap. Look to the right. And bring your leg back to the center. Let's really pull that right leg in. Straighten your right knee, guys. And you've got to press your foot into your strap to help you bring your right thigh bone away from you. And then bend the knee and release. So your blankets or your block or whatever you use for your hip can move over to your left. And then you'll straighten your right knee. Straighten both of your knees for a moment and just push into the wall. This feels great. Actually, get some length, no space at your lower back. And then once you've got that, bend your left knee, put your left foot on the mat. And I have to be careful that I don't lift when I bend that left knee, that my lower back does not lift up. And then bring the strap around your left heel, extend your left leg up, pull down on the strap, press into your left toes. So guys, can you pull on your strap and bring your left thigh bone down to the mat? Down to the mat. Use your hands against your strap. Now reach up and grab your strap with your left hand. Turn your left sole of your left foot to the right. Take your left leg out. So again, go very slowly so that you're fully aware of your hip rotation as you're moving into this, especially your hip rotation on the left side. Left toes, left kneecap faces the yoga mat. And then bring your left leg up. Really press down the back of that right leg. Switch the hand that holds the strap or the foot. Now, even if you want to L shape with your left hand, really draw that outer left hip away from you as you take your left leg to the right. Don't let your outer left hip lift up towards your rib cage. Draw it down. Use your own hands. Draw your outer left hip towards your inner right heel. Keep your backside against the mat as you let that leg go over. And now bring it back to the center. Don't lift your bottom up, guys, but pull your leg in. Don't lift your bottom up. Draw your bottom down onto the mat. Femur bone away from you, and then exhale to release. Perfect. Bend the knee, left knee, and bring the left leg down. Go ahead and straighten both of your knees and put your feet on the mat. And let's bring the spine to the mat. So tuck the tailbone in the sacrum. So for me, I've got to bend the knees, lift and tuck. Keep the abdominal wall down as I straighten the knees. Again, lots of focus on side abdominals coming down. I'll take the arms up like sleepwalker. Pull the upper arms down towards the mat. Take the arms over the head. Keep your belly button moving towards the mat. And then very slowly you can exhale, release. Just bring the arms back over and you can again hold your yoga mat. Let's take the soles of our feet together. So bend the knees, bring your feet to the mat to start. Lift and tuck. Now, let one knee fall out to the side at a time. Come to the outer feet. You can bring your hands to your leg bones. As they go away from you, they still move down. Leg bones move down. You can use your hands to do that. You can grip your yoga mat and kind of pull your torso back towards your head. See if you can get the yoga mat to really lengthen out the sacrum. And then exhale, bring the knees together. Good, you can bring the knees up one at a time. Hug the knees. In any movements, you can go side to side or front to back. And sometimes I do an upside down child's pose. Just bring the big toes together, knees apart, and draw shin bones towards the mat. Perfect. And then come for Shavasana. So any way that you want to take Shavasana, you could stay as you are and just let your legs extend out, arms out, palms up. You can move into legs up the wall if that's more comfortable for you. You can bring a blanket or bolster under your spine if you'd like to do that as well, or maybe a blanket underneath the back of your head. But wherever you go, come into your most comfortable position for Shavasana. And take your arms out to the side with the palms of your hands up. And you don't want to arch in your low back. And you also want your feet to be more in a neutral position. So you don't want to let your feet fall out to the sides here, but keep your inner feet more lined up or neutral. As you close your eyes, take an exhalation of your breath and let go of every muscle and every bone, every organ in the body. Draw your five senses inward. And when you close your eyes, let your eyeballs move away from your eyelids. Relax the upper and the lower jaw. Let the teeth at the very back of your mouth move apart some. Let your tongue become very heavy and rest. Relax the throat, relax the collarbone and the shoulders. Let go of all of the internal organs. Let the brain move towards the mat as well as your heart. And all of the internal organs of the abdominal area, just relax. Allow your intestines to move towards the yoga mat. Begin to deepen your breath and move your awareness back into the room. Small movements in your fingers and in your toes when you're ready. Bend your elbows and bring your hands to your belly or your heart. Stretch the arms up and over the head here for a full body stretch. Bring the abdominal wall towards the mat as you stretch the arms. And then as you exhale the breath, release the arms to the side body. Bend your knees one knee at a time. Bring your feet to the mat, the floor, the wall. You can lift your bottom and tuck your sacrum and your tailbone, and then bring one knee into the chest at a time. You wrap your arms around your knees, and any movements here, side to side or front to back. And then as you exhale the breath, roll over to your right and hold there in a fetal position. You can use your right arm to support your head. And then as you exhale here, bring yourselves up to seated, any seated position that you would like. Hands can come to the heart center, third eye, or just resting at the tops of your legs. Bones are very important. Make no bones about it. Thank you guys very, very much for being here. Namaste.